So, I'm going to do a little bit of experiment tonight. Apologize for the horrible lighting. I'm trying to get some stuff situated. I had a hard drive fail in my computer, so I just got finished replacing the hard drive in my iMac. So I'm actually recording this stuff inside of my my home office, which just explains the Jason Bourne style lighting. So I apologize for the lighting. I'm gonna get that fixed. But one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to follow up with a video I did earlier in the week where I was talking about higher order functions in JavaScript. So in my previous video, I showed where you could use the map or the filter methods, which are built-in methods you can use on the array object in JavaScript, where you essentially pass another function as a parameter into those functions to get the results that you want back out. So what I'd like to do tonight is I'd like to show how you get take an array of numbers as an example and get the sum of all those numbers. There's a very easy way of doing that using the reduce method. So let's take a quick look over here and see what that actually looks like. So if we take a look at this real quickly, we can see that I have a very simple array here of about 5 numbers. And then what I'm doing here is I'm defining a variable called sum. I'm just setting it to 0. And then what I'm doing is I'm iterating through each of those different values in the array, and then I'm just adding that value to the sum. And this is the normal procedural way that you get the sum. So if I come back over here and run this, well, you can see we get a value here of 87, which is the sum of all these different numbers. But there's actually a much easier way of doing that. So let's take a quick look and see how we can actually do that. So instead of using that for-n, to kind of do this procedurally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the actual array object and I'm going to call reduce on that. And in this reduce method, I'm going to pass in a function. And that function is going to take a couple different parameters. There's actually, I think, about 4 different parameters you can possibly pass into this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it up so I'm just going to use 2. One is going to be the accumulator, and one is going to be the actual value. I'm going to call that item. And then inside of there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the accumulated value and I'm going to add that to the item, and I'm going to return that back out. And then I'm going to set a starting value here. Starting value, I'm just going to set to 0, just like I did before with that sum. But this time, instead of being a let, I'm going to set it to a const because this only needs to get set once. And now if I come back in here and I run this, we can see we get the same result back, which is good. But there's an even easier way of doing this. So what I'm going to do, instead of setting this whole function, I'm actually going to use an arrow function. So I'm going to remove this anonymous function I have in here, and I'm just going to replace this with an arrow function. And I'm just going to do the same thing I did before. Set the accumulator plus the item. And now I have transposed this onto one single line. And if I come back into the terminal, run this again, boom, you can see we get the same value. So if you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to make a comment, please make a comment. And have a nice evening. And in the meantime, I'll try to do something to improve the Jason Bourne style lighting that I have in these videos. Hope everybody has a nice evening.